Yeah, 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 yeah. What's up, y'all? All right, let's go. Let's get this thing popping. 1 o'clock, baby. Or at least, it's like one-ish. It's like one-ish. But I think, in the grand scheme of things, I'm here pretty early, given how things have been going lately. Man, I'm glad to be here too. Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752, and today we're talking about when someone tells you who they are. You know how they say when someone tells you who they are, then believe them. The ancestors was like, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. And it's good advice, it's great advice. And if you follow that advice, it should make life a lot easier for you. It should give you the opportunity to learn how people are, who they are, and it should teach you how to be able to deal with them so you can get on to the more important things in life instead of dragging yourself down, holding yourself down, pulling yourself down by trying to beat a dead horse or trying to make somebody into something that they are not. Here's the thing with this whole when someone tells you who they are, believe them thing. They also say, the elders also say that actions speak louder than words. Well, hold on, because we have a little bit of a conflict. Because if action speaks louder than words, then when someone is telling us who they are, do we believe them? So, issues of truth and honesty come into it, and also issues of evidentiary practices. So, what do? How do we act? How do we know? Where do we go? Well, we're going to talk about it today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm glad to be here. What's up with y'all, man? When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Do you believe when people tell you who they are? Does it normally match what they are telling you? Does the physical, do the actions have what they done or what they are doing match who they say that they are? I'm a good man. I care. I'm helpful. I make sure that I hold down my family. You know how many men have claimed that they are family men, but don't give a shit about their family in practice? Or should I say, by the opinions of many, they don't appear to be family men. And let's talk about being a family man for a minute, because a lot of men do claim to be family men. And I'm not trying to put people who claim to be family men on blast per se, but we might as well get into it because it's one of those things that impress a lot of people. Like that man he a family man. He care about his people. He hold it down for his people. He take care of his kids. He make sure his wife is straight. He take care of his mom, his father, whoever. He takes care of the elders. If you are in this man's family biologically or just in a close familial way, that man's going to look out. He always look out. Family first. All right. Well, let's take a look at it. What are some of the things that we would expect a family man to do if he's telling us who he is? If somebody is telling us that they are a family man, what are we expecting for them to do? What are some of the requirements that we would expect from someone who calls themselves a family man? Now, we probably will be looking for them to provide. A family man got to provide. Your family got to eat. They have to be clothed. They have to go to school. They have to be transported. Even spirituality. If you want to claim that you're a family man, then you're probably claiming that you're the king of your castle. Well, take something to be king. Although, okay, all right. A lot of kings really are just kings because they were born of a particular bloodline, and they had that benefit of the head start. But okay, if a man calls himself a family man, then I'm probably going to be looking for him to provide for his family. He doesn't necessarily have to be rich, but he got to keep them bills paid. He got to keep a roof overhead. He has to keep that water flowing, the lights on, the heat in the house, cool in the summertime even. And he also has to make sure that shoes are on feet, shirts and coats are on back, hats are on heads, Scarves are on necks. Gloves are on hands. He has to be a provider. We would probably be looking for a man who calls himself a family man to be a provider. You know, he doesn't have to be rich, but he has to make sure that he can provide enough financial assistance to be able to keep the bills paid, to keep everyone under a safe environment, domicile, and be able to, you know, do a little shopping, do a little shopping. You know, we can get the now this is personal because it doesn't have to be this way, but I'm thinking that he should probably be able to afford the green giant canned vegetables instead of the can sale sale at the shop at the what do you call it well, the can sale, you know, where they have the can sale, but I'm thinking about the cheap stuff over at Save a Lot. Shout out to Save a Lot. I ain't hating on Save a Lot, but you know, I mean, them green giant can. If you want to eat canned vegetables, I'm telling you, the green giant will be all right. All right. Anyway, so we probably look for a family man to be a provider, since that's what he says he is, right? Now we also probably look for a family man to practice fidelity. You say you're a family man, right? So a family man shouldn't be all up in these young girls' faces or even in these middle women's faces, right? He shouldn't be out there acting like he looking for something instead of he already had something. I mean now if I'm wrong, just let me know. But I'm thinking that if he's a family man, he said he was a family man, didn't he? That man said he was a family man. Ain't nobody asked him. He said he was a family man. So I'm thinking that family man shouldn't be all up in another woman's face, trying to get all up in her drawers, trying to look up her skirt. But am I right about that? You know, because there's a chance I could be wrong. Because by the evidence, a lot of men who say that they're family men got another family somewhere, or are practicing making a family somewhere else. So this is what we're talking about when we say, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Well, I don't know. Sometimes the actions may not support the words, or the words may not support the actions. Vice versa, however you say it. What do y'all think? Carol Chamberlain says, I believe when they show you who they are. Oh, I believe when they show you who they are, believe them. Okay. That's right, Carol. Shop right, can sell. See, I be trying not to give out no free advertising. When was the last time they had a can sale? Because I haven't heard about it. Well, then again, I used to know about the can sale because I used to see the commercials on TV, and because I don't watch a lot of TV, maybe I'll be missing the can sales. Do they still have can sales? Or are we just living off memory? What we got? What we got, Cal? What's going on, Stacy White? How you feeling? And also T. Carey Wright. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I am your host, Sun752. And we are talking about when someone tells you who they are. As a matter of fact, let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun752. And this is Urban Therapy with Sun Show. We do this every single Sunday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun752. aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show, talking about when someone tells you who they are. When someone tells you who they are, do you believe them? Do you think that they are trying to deceive? Do you believe that their actions support their words? The words support their actions. Yo, the factions that they claim to be affiliated, they talking a whole lot of stuff, and I debated word. Well, sometimes it's the truth, and sometimes you got the evidence. You need no other proof. Well, we gonna talk about it today, and we're gonna do it in our own way. I say that I'm glad to have you come through. We gonna do this thing, yeah, me and you. I consider us crew. Do my actions support that? I think they do. All right, y'all. When someone tells you who they are, let's get back to this family man thing. A family man, because I need y'all to tell me. Come on, there are 3 ladies in the in the chat. What are some of the things that a family man does? And do the people that you know, the men that you know who have called themselves family men, have they done those things? Is fidelity one of those things that a family man is required to have? You know, have we accepted something different? Like, okay, you can say that you're a family man and still be getting some draws on the other side. I mean, you might have 2 families, you might have 3 families, you might have even more, 4 or more families. You know what I mean? So you're a family man to all of them. You have wives and children who depend on you. You got families who want you to do something. So does a family man have to be faithful? I'm going to say yes. For me, if a man says that he's a family man, I'm going to be looking for him to associate almost everything he does to be for the benefit of his family. If he buys a car, it should be because his family can be transported in that car. It should definitely be because he can afford to buy that car. If it's like a 2-seater sports car, midlife crisis car, a brand new Corvette or a Viper, he should be able to afford that vehicle without interfering with the finances for his family. If he says he's a family man. So really, he should be looking into an SUV or a minivan or something like that. If he has a large family that needs to be transported. What else should a family man be? Now, let me ask y'all this. If he's a family man, and please pardon me if I'm being Captain Obvious right now in this question. If he's a family man, does he necessarily have to be a good father? Can you be a family man and still not be that great of a father? Because we know that you can be a great father without being a family man. Well. Let me back that up. Because some people might not know if you can be a good father and not be a good family man. Let me correct that, because I don't think everybody knows that. You can definitely be a good father without being a good husband and without being a good boyfriend. I've talked to people, definitely women, who said, no, you cannot. If you cannot be a good father if you're not a good husband, or if you're not a good husband. I mean, a good man to your woman. You cannot be a good father. And I'm like, even in child support court, I have heard women say, no, he's a good father, but he got to give up that cash. I have heard exes of certain men say, yeah, listen, I don't want to have nothing to do with him. You know, I don't like what he did to me, but he's a good dad. He's a good dad to his children. He take care of them. He come pick them up. He's very affectionate with them. He shows them things, teaches them things. He's, you know, make sure that they know their other siblings from other women or whatever, you know. But there are some women who have straight out said, no, you can't be a good father if you're not a good husband or a good boyfriend. And I'm like, we can kind of tell. We can kind of tell in what area she's been scoring now, can't we? Okay, so I just wanted to make sure we get that cleared up. Cherry, it's Cinderella Dana Dane. What's going on, Cinderella Dana Dane? Okay, let's see. TK Wright says sometimes people will overstate or understate who they are as a. I'm sorry, got distracted. Understate who they are as a defense mechanism. Okay. That's what's up. Cherry also says, I'm old school. I believe believe a family man is faithful with old school values. Interesting. Okay. Carol said, I think I missed the I missed the can sale. I guess it can. Yes, it can. TK Wright says, if his thoughts and actions are to best benefit his family as a whole, he is a family man. You don't have no argument from me about that. But I've talked to people who think differently, so you know, I thought I would put it out there. Carol says she agrees with both ladies. Okay. I think I do too. You know, but I'm sure there are people out there that are saying, being a good father trickles down from being a good man, from being a good husband, from being a good boyfriend. Because I mean, I've heard the argument that if you call yourself a good father, then that means that you don't put your children in positions where they will have to choose between one parent or another, or you will always listen, man. You know, being scorned, being hurt, being jealous will make you think in all types of ways that are really selfish, but it might be hard for you to dig yourself out of that thought process. You know what I mean? Because you know, when I hear a woman say that you have to be a good husband or a good boyfriend in order to be a good father, I almost hear her saying, what about me? Yeah, you love these kids and all of that. You coming to pick them up, you bring them stuff, you put money in their hands, put money in their accounts and all that kind of stuff. You even give me money, but only for them. But what about me? I need you too. The kids came from me and you. I got a fly in here. He gotta die. This motherfucker gotta die. God damn it. If my wrist wasn't fucked up, I'd have got it. It's messing up my speed. It's messing up my speed. I have carpal tunnel. Anyway, so yeah. But when we talk about when someone tells you who they are, a lot of men out here are doing dirty things and they claiming to be family men. What about men who say that they are good fathers. I'm a good dad. I'm a great dad. I know you've heard people say that they were good dads and great dads and all of that. Do most of the men that you know who claim to be good dads and great dads, do their actions support their dadism? What's the rating on their dadism? Their fatherology? What do y'all think? For the men who say that they're great fathers or good fathers, for the ones that you know, is what they are telling you who and what they are support what they do. What's going on? Emily Dunlap in the house. I said Emily. And Emily says, you spoke of the internet. Good example. I have people scrolling my page, I don't know, for whatever reason. And when that happens, they go on the block list because they don't know who I am. How do you know that they're scrolling your page? How you know? Okay. Okay. So yeah. I know men who say that they're great fathers or whatever. And I also know men who have an awful lot of kids. Like, I'm talking about a lot of kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know dudes who got double-digit kids and they say I'm a great dad. And I'm not saying that that's impossible, because I would have said the same thing about my dad. He had double-digit children, and he was definitely a good or great dad, depending on your perspective to all of his children. But I could see how an outsider would probably dispute that, because they might say, with that many slices of pizza in the pie, there's no way that you cut those slices equally. Well, I don't know if all children have to be treated equally in order for them to be treated fairly or be treated well. But I do know men who don't really give their children the time and attention that I think that a father should, and they still say that they're great dads, whatever. And then then we have the internet dads that don't really provide for their children and aren't really instrumental or active in their children's lives, but they'll go pick their kids up and take a bunch of pictures at a museum or at Sky Zone or at the park or at Disney or something, whatever, wherever, and they be talking about, yeah, my kids come first. My kids come first. When someone tells you who they are, people be talking about my kids come first. People be talking about God comes first. People be talking about my kids come first. People be talking about God comes first. People be talking about my kids come first. People be talking about God comes first. People be talking about the kids come first. People be talking about the God comes first. I know people who be talking about the God comes first, but they be lying right through their teeth. And I ain't really got a lot of beef with that. But you need to stop lying at that. Yo, God ain't gotta come first. God put you. I mean, I don't know if God. Listen, I don't know if God puts you first. I don't know. I know it's a scary question for a lot of people to ask. Like, yo, did God put you first? I mean, how you know? Does the evidence support that? You be having some bad days, don't you? Did he put you first? Of course, it's all from our perspective. You know what I mean? We can't tell. Anyway, people be talking about they put God first. People be talking about, I'm a great dad. People be talking about I'm the best mom. I mean, I gotta give the ladies a little something too. There are a lot of women out here, excuse me, who say they put their kids first, who say that they're a great mom, who say they sacrifice everything for their kids, and you be looking like, you put your kids first? Your mom, you put your kids first? I mean, some of these chicks be the same. They be the same ones that meet a nigga at the club on this Saturday and they move that nigga in their house on Thursday. Yo, this is Sunday, May 7th. They might go to oldies night at the old head club tonight and have a nigga living in their house by the 11th. The 11th will be Thursday, by the way. They said they put their kids first. Well, if we say that a family man should probably be faithful and should be a provider and should be attentive to his children in order to deem himself a family man, and we probably need to take another look at that too, because you can be a family man without having any biological kids, can't you? Can you be a family man and not have any kids at all? You know, bonus kids? No biological kids, no bonus kids, no nothing. Can you? You probably can. I don't see no reason why not. You know what I mean? Still a family man. I love my mama and my daddy and my brothers and my sisters and my aunties and my uncles and my cousins and my nieces and my nephews and everybody, grandparents, everybody. So you can still be a family man and not have no kids. I think it's a little interesting though, don't you? But just like T. Carey Wright says, you know, if his thoughts and actions are to best benefit his family as a whole, he is a family man. So we're gonna go with that. She's the new Webster for that definition. All right. Okay. And Emily says, because they're sharing things from my page. Oh. And Carol says, oh, you can tell, but that's for another conversation, Omar. Okay. All right. TK Wright says, oh, you can tell who is on your page because they come up in your viewed by section on your post. Oh. I didn't know about a viewed by section on there. I didn't know. Cherry says, to be honest, people have different perspectives on what a good dad is based on their experience in their own life. Some think of a good dad because he sends money, others time. Yeah. Now, we talking about when they tell you who they are, believe them. And you know, there's more than one way. There's definitely more than one way to tell somebody who you are. You can tell them verbally who you are, and you can show them who you are. So, and sometimes the elders said that too. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. So I don't care what a nigga say. I don't care what a nigga do. No, I do care what a nigga do. He running around here talking about he all this, that, and the third, and he don't do this, that, and the third. And I'm always catching him I'm doing the same things he say he don't do. He say he don't cheat on his wife. I seen him cheat on his wife. How you know he was cheating on his wife? Oh, I seen him doing it to her. They wasn't doing it, but he shouldn't be all pressed up. He was hugging her from the back and kissing her on her neck and feeling her titties, you know. And that wasn't his wife. Like, okay, well, he probably is doing it to her. And I don't know if a family man should be running around here doing that. But that might have been his other family. That might have been his ex-family. Can you have an ex-family? Oh man, that's my ex-family. It ain't my family no more. I got this new shiny family. Carol says if he's doing all that, he's cheating. I'm just saying. Mothers be out here talking about, women be out here talking about, I put my kids first. Everything I do it for my kids. You move that man in your house after meeting him on Sunday, and it ain't but Thursday. Just because he got paid on Friday. Or the nigga ain't even got no job. You move the nigga to your house, ain't got no job. And you talking about you a good mom? I'm going to ask this again. Let me get this straight. You moved a nigga into your house with your small children or teenage children, pre-adolescents that ain't got no job. So the nigga moved in and he gonna be home all day? Either that or you moved a dope boy in your house? A dope boy? You moved a dope. Yeah, he hustled. But he don't stash nothing here. Not sure if that's acceptable, man. Now, I ain't the end all be all of how anyone should conduct themselves, but I don't care because I say what I think is right and what I don't think is right. All right. But when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. When somebody tells you who they are, believe them. What about when you see the potential in somebody? What about when you can see the good in somebody, even though they acting bad? What about when you can see the light at the end of the tunnel for somebody, even though they seem to be stuck in the darkness? What about when you can see the greatness in somebody, even though they have decided to practice just being a rookie, a greenhorn, a novice, an amateur? All right, I got an example. You in love with a man. You in love with a man who can't seem to stay out of legal trouble. You're in love with a man who can't stay out of jail. He back and forth to court. He back and forth to his PO. He back and forth to jail. Now, you might be thinking like all this man has to do because he's the greatest mechanic or he's the greatest this and that and the third. You know, like he's so great at what he does. And if he only had the opportunity to stay focused on what he does so well, then this man could be a king in a day. And you may be right. But this man has told you that he a thug. He showed you that he ain't nothing but a little criminal. You want for him to be something better than what he is because you know that he can be. And so you've concentrated on making him into what he can be instead of what he's told you and showed you who he is. You know what I mean? So, actions speak louder than words. Listen, this man might not be nothing but an old jailbird. But you don't understand how smart he is. You don't understand how intelligent he is. You don't understand how gifted he is. You don't understand how talented he is. Yes, I do. And you know, the prison system is full of cats just like that. They're full of a bunch of A dream deferred. A dream deferred. Let me tell you something. Black men have one job out here in these streets. They got one job, black man. I ain't talking about no other man. The black man has one job, one ultra important job, and that's to stay out of prison, because you cannot do anything for your family, for your children, for your community, for the world while you locked up. You can't do shit. You become an instant liability. An instant liability. You can't provide for your family while you behind bars. Your family has to provide for you. You become an instant bill when you are locked up. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, more. Life sentence, double digits, football numbers. You ain't doing nobody outside any good. You can't provide affection for your for affection or protection for your spouse or your woman. You can't provide that. You can't provide protection or education for your children. You can't provide wisdom, guidance, anything while you're behind bars. You need somebody to send you money. You need for a way to be able to have you provided for, and you have to try to stay safe. Plus, you're trying to, appeal your case and all that kind of stuff. You are a liability. You need help. So you need to do whatever is required to keep your ass on the streets. Because on the streets, I don't care if you're on drugs. I don't care what it is. As long as you're on the streets, you can be rehabilitated. You can be turned around. You can be restructured, refocused, redone. You can help. I don't care if the only help you provided was helping your cousin to move on Saturday. You can be dumb muscle. You can't even do that in jail. You can't do it. So you have one job, black man, and I don't want to hear no excuses. You got one fucking job. Stay free. Stay free. I don't care how you got to do it. I don't care if you got to kiss ass. I don't care if you got to lick ass. You make sure that you stay on the streets so you can be available for your children, your woman, your family, your community, your life, your race, your people. Can't do it? I don't know what to tell you. Let me see. Carol Chamberlain says, if I moved someone into my house, he need a job and he's paying rent. Wait a minute. He's a rent paying tenant. No hanky panky over here. No hanky. Listen, I get it. And Carol says, was he smart enough to stay out of prison? Just asking. Listen, there's some cats out here with one foot in the streets, 1 foot in the prison. Now, if you have 1 foot in the streets, you always have 1 foot in the prison, because that's what the streets lead to. They don't lead nowhere except for the prison or the morgue. The streets don't provide nothing else. They don't. That's why the goal has to be to get out of the streets. You got to get out of the streets. The streets always win. They playing with house money. The streets ain't got nothing to lose, but you're going to lose everything in them streets. So sometimes we act like we get it and we act like we don't get it at the same goddamn time. Cherry says, some people be in love with the dream or the idea of the person but not the reality. And that's what I'm talking about. When someone shows you who they are, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. You gotta believe them. But you might not want to believe them because you see how great they can be. And it's not just men. You know, I went on that whole rant about, staying free, staying out of jail and all of that. But you got a lot of women out here too. You got niggas out here that believe that these chicks really want something out of life, and a lot of them don't. They don't want shit. They want a fucking Gucci bag, a Louis bag, some red bottom shoes. They want everything they see on the internet and on TV. That's all they want, though. They don't really want to be. There are a lot of women out here claiming they a good woman. They ain't no goddamn good woman. They don't even know what it takes. They've been listening to too many goddamn Beyonce songs and some shit like that. And you ain't. I need a soldier. You know what I mean? Upgrade you. Cater to get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? I'll tell you one thing. When you're a good woman, your man is going to tell you you're a good woman. He's going to tell you. Because you're going to be separated and obviously different from other things that he has seen and experienced before. And that's even if the nigga don't treat you right. But he knows. We got a lot of chicks out here talking about they good women and all of that kind of shit. But they talking all that cookie cutter shit. Oh, yeah, I cook and clean for my man and I give good head. I mean, those are some good woman qualities, but you ain't tipping the scales. You ain't reinventing the wheel on what a good woman is. You listening to too much rap and R&B. Because guess what? Cooking, cleaning, and giving good head don't necessarily help the bills get paid. Just like, nigga dicking you down, don't pay the bills. Well, guess what? You giving up the twat don't help the bills get paid either. You might say, well, I shouldn't have to pay all of the bills, or I shouldn't have to go 50-50 and all of that. I hear you. And part of me understands and agrees with you. However, don't start talking all of that shit. Let somebody else tell you that they're a good woman. I mean, I'm sorry. Let someone else tell you that you're a good woman. Don't do it yourself. Don't do it yourself. You don't have to make that self-declaration. You ain't got to do it. You ain't got to do it. Stacy says the streets are no good. They still doing the same thing. Yeah. And every street dude knows or has seen that the streets will be right there when you get back. There are times in your life that you think that the streets are going to pass you by. No, they'll be right there. You can go to the store. The streets will be right there when you get out of the store. Go to the laundromat. They'll be right there. Go on vacation. They'll be right there. Go away to school. They'll be right there. Go to jail for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The streets are right there doing the same shit. Practicing going back to where you just left. That's all the streets do. So you might be trying to reform or rehabilitate a jailbird or a little common thug or a little criminal. But he is what he is. And he's been telling you. And you've been trying to reform this little thought. She ain't nothing but a little thought. She ain't nothing but a little hoe. She loose booty. Any man that compliments her and flashes a couple of dollars and come through in a nice ride, she gonna back that thing up for him. She can't help herself. You gotta let her be a hoe. Hey, she was a hoe when you met her. She was doing hoe things and it attracted you. It did. It attracted you. And you was like, yo, she a hoe, but everybody got a past. And I agree with that. But her past might have been her present. So you said, okay, She was a hoe and she lived in West Philly. She a hoe from West Philly. So if I can get her out of West Philly, no, you know what? She too connected. She used to mess with them JBM niggas out Mount Airy, Wessel Lane, Germantown, North Philly. You know what I'll do? I'll get her out of Philly. I'll get her out of Philly. Remember back in the 80s and the 90s, we thought that we could get our uncles and our brothers and our sisters and our aunties off of crack if we got them away from that environment. So we sent them down south. We sent them out the Midwest. We sent them wherever we could send them to get them away so they could go get clean. And what they do, they went down south, they went out the Midwest, they went wherever you sent them, and they found the drugs there. And they stayed drug addicts wherever they was. So what happened? You had to bring their ass back home. So it's the same situation. Same situation when you're dealing with somebody who does not practice fidelity. Look, she a hoe. She got an ego problem. Any man that tells her that she look good, and even if he rub up on her, she'll fuck a stinky nigga if he come right. No pun intended. So you can take her to Delaware. You can take her out. You can take her to Delaware County. You can take her to Bucks County. You can take her to Montgomery County if you can afford it. It don't matter. She's still within. She's still close to city limits. And she going unless she believes in you and is really ready to change her life, she gonna find a way to do what she do. And she's going to tell you that it's your fault. If you was a real man, she wouldn't have to cheat. If you was a real man, she wouldn't have to ask another man for a couple of $100 or $1,000. If you was a real man, you would hold it down. If you was a real man, you wouldn't be a clown. If you was a real man, then you would be around, but you're not around because you wasn't never really down. You believed in somebody that wasn't what they was. I tried to tell you, your brother, your cousin, your sister, they all tried to tell you about that girl. But you think you the shit, nigga. You think you thorough. You think that the decisions that you make are the ones to be made, and you got played, and you got played. Played 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. 3 times a sucker. Cause you a part-time sucker. Part-time sucker. Part-time sucker. Uh-oh. Hold on. Stacy says, I know I'm a good woman, and my man don't even have to tell me I'm a good one. It's not easy sacrificing. Word. Carol Chamberlain says, Omar, you know you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I'm just saying, yes, you can. I believe that every hoe is a housewife. I mean, should I say every housewife got some hoe in her? Come on, Carol. Every housewife got some hoe in her. All right, let's break it down. What are the first 2 letters of the word housewife? H-O. What does H-O spell? Hoe. So we know that there's a little bit of hoe in every housewife. Is there a hoe? Is there a hoe in the house tonight? Stand up, stand. Okay. All right. Now, what are the other letters in the word housewife? So we got H-O. All right. So we got a hoe. Now, what comes after that? W-I-F-E. Wife. Wife, right? So hoe, wife. Wait, we missed some letters. H-O, then we got U-S-E. Okay. We got a hoe, then we got U-S-A. Use. Okay, we got use. The hoe is useful. She has uses. You have a definite use for the hoe. Then we have wife. We got HO, we got USE, and we got wife. Ho, use, wife. Ho, use, wife. Ho, use a wife. Housewife. Ho, use a wife. Ho, use a wife. Ho, use a wife. Ho, use a ho, use a wife. Use a ho, use a wife. Ho, use a wife. A little bit of ho in every housewife. And but I know what people are saying when they say that you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. But you can. You can. But a person is not going to stop being promiscuous until a person decides that promiscuity doesn't work for them anymore. And a lot of times a man might get with a woman who has not made that decision for you, for herself, I should say. If a woman really loves a man and has found what she has been hoeing for all of these years, she will be faithful to that man. Everything has a beginning and an end. Carol says, that's a whole different thing. You know what I was talking about. I'm talking about the hoes in the street trying to take them home and make them into a housewife. Look, Carol. Ho, use a wife. That's listen. We broke the word down. It means something. Ho, use wife. Ho, use a wife. Mine. Ho, use a wife. Mine. When someone tells you who they are, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. They try to tell you something, man. They try to show you something beneficial. Cat says, not we, you, us. We, us. we in the US. We live in the US. Us. But yeah, when somebody tells you, somebody shows you who they are, what they are, you can choose to believe them. Sometimes you might not. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of whatever decisions that you make and whatever actions that you partake in. So you ain't necessarily got to believe that the person who is telling you and showing you who they are what they are. But the proof is going to come in the pudding and the evidence is going to come out and you're going to have to deal with it. We've all built ourselves up, felt like someone else has or was tearing us down, or we've zigged when we should have zagged and didn't necessarily do the right thing all the time. Sometimes we weren't conscious of what the right thing was to do. But still we rise. And it's going to be all right. Carol said, you speak in French now with that we. Yeah, we. Our we. Our it. Our. Yeah. There's so many different angles you can take with this topic, because women have dealt with men who were on the down low. And it's a funny thing about these cats that were. Here's the thing about being on the down low. These cats are not only gay when they were portraying themselves to be straight, but they're also cheating. Like, it probably wouldn't be such a crushing blow if you went to your woman well, let me say this. It probably wouldn't be as crushing of a blow if you went to your woman, you said, listen, I know we've been married or we've been together for all of this time, but I've been confused about my sexuality for years. And I'm really starting to feel like I'm heading towards, you know, succumbing to my attraction to the same sex. Like I think I really want to be with a man. Not that I don't love you, but maybe I want to be with a man. But that's not what these down low niggas do. They have a woman, a wife, or and kids at home, and they out either sticking another nigga in the booty or letting another nigga stick them in the booty. And then they coming right home and taking that shit-filled dick, that's taking that shitty dick and putting it right in the vagina of their woman. And I'm saying all of this to say this. You're not going to tell me that those women could not tell that I don't care what nobody say. You're not going to tell me that a woman can be with a man who is gay and she don't have no evidence, clues, or nothing. Because I've seen some of these men that these women was like, I never knew he was gay. I'm like, how come I did? I can see that nigga. He's soft as cottonelle. That nigga, he's soft like something you would put up your nose or in your ears. Cotton ball. He's soft as talc. Talking about something I didn't know he was gay. I don't know how you didn't get the message. Everybody else seemed to know. And you ain't gonna tell me if that nigga if that nigga is the taker instead of the giver. You ain't gonna tell me he ain't never asked you to, you know what I mean, peg him or nothing. Well, I thought he would just do that with me. I didn't think, fuck out of here. So this nigga been trying to tell you for years that he was gay, but you was like, oh no, he's just in touch with his feminine side. Well, he most certainly is. Yes, he most certainly is. He's in touch with his feminine side. Maybe even more than you. And it's the same way the other way around too. With these half dyke ass chicks out here. So these niggas, nah, you know what? The problem is these dudes are okay with they wives being bisexual and all of that. That's the problem. Cherry says, husband, his bands is my bands. Never heard that one before. I like it. Stacey says, you have issues. Ah. Cal says, turn the blind eye. Was it really all that blind? All I know is this. If I catch my girl looking at another girl, funny or kissing another girl, we through. I don't play that shit. No, we not having no threesome and none of that shit. That's what's wrong with niggas. They be like, well, she like girls and I like girls. Then then she'll let me have a girl and we can all be together and all of that kind of shit. Yeah, that shit is all good until you get your gay girlfriend pregnant. And then your son come right out the room. I mean, your son comes right out of the womb wanting to turn double dutch and play with an easy bake oven and dolls. Right out the womb, like the nigga can't even talk. And he talking about he turned underhanded. You know how the girls, when they used to jump rope, they used to always be mad at each other because they'd be like, oh, you turning underhanded or you flicked it or whatever they used to say. You know, when they was mad because they weren't able to jump rope as long as they thought they were supposed to because somebody wasn't turning the rope correctly. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's your son. It was all good when it was threesomes and you could do whatever you felt like you could do whatever you want. Now you, Magic Johnson, and Dwayne Wade all got something in common. Well, Dwayne Wade is proud of his son. That fight. All right, we gonna do these birthday shout outs, man. We gonna do these birthday shout outs. Yes, we are, baby. We gonna do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 7th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Raymond Anthony. I guess you could say promoter extraordinaire. Raymond Anthony has promoted countless amounts of comedy shows, and music shows, and he's a good promoter. Happy birthday to you, turning 53 years old today. And Georgette Brown, happy birthday to you. And Sori Paul, happy birthday to you. And Denise Bush, turning 57 years old. Happy birthday to you. And Tamara Turner, turning 60 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And William J. Ashmore, turning 47 years old today. And also Becky McGaster, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, my girl, Ivy Lynn. Ivy Lynn, happy birthday to you. I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And this goes out to each and every person who shares this birthday on this glorious May 7th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, I said remember, it was just me and you, September. All right, anyway. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. When somebody tells you who they are, you know what? A lot of people don't like you to really get to know them because they know that when you get to know them, you will really get to know them. You'll get to know them in many ways that they don't want you to know. So a lot of people don't want you to get to know them because they'll find out that you're selfish, or that you're not as wealthy as you say you are, or that you're not as helpful as you say that you are, or that you're not as caring as you say that you are, or you're not really the shit, or as confident as you claim that you are. You just don't have it going on the way that you say that you're going on. I mean, the way that you say that you had it going on. Well, we all have our times in our lives. Sometimes we the shit. Sometimes, Emily says, I came out of the bushes because I thought I was being summoned. Don't let that happen again. Let me stay in the bushes. Oh, I'm so glad that you came out. So glad that you came out. But you're going back in. See you tomorrow night. 7. That's when. But I'm glad that you came out. I'm glad everybody came out. I appreciate me some y'all exponentially. Yeah, we gonna do this thing. Have the potential to be the best that we ever was, that the best that ever had done it. Yeah, it's time to run it. I am proud of my peeps, proud of myself. We're gonna get this wealth. Everything is gonna be all right. We finished this thing in what? 209. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. All right, so I said Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Peace, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Great Sunday. All right, holla.